Starting off strong, we have Adam Levine, who allegedly cheated on his pregnant wife of 8 years, Bahati Prinsloo, with Instagram model Summer Stroh. Summer claimed in a since-deleted TikTok that she had a quote affair with Adam, who currently shares 2 kids with Bahati. That lasted about 1 year. She said in the September video, "At the time, I was young, I was naive, and I mean, quite frankly, I feel exploited. I wasn't in the scene like I am now, so I was definitely very easily manipulated." And Summer went on to share a series of screenshots that seemingly showed Adam making some quite bizarre remarks about her body. In one of the images, the Maroon 5 frontman appeared to ask if he could use the model's name for his new baby with Bahati. Some of the texts Adam sent his secret lover include, "Holy effing F, that body of yours is absurd. How are you such an hourglass?" Needless to say, the entire ordeal took the internet by storm, with Adam's alleged texts in particular becoming something of a meme, and more women wound up making similar allegations about the singer's infidelity. And while Adam later denied cheating on Bahati in a statement addressing the scandal, he did admit that he'd quote crossed the line. Next up, we have the YouTuber scandal that's shocked the world. Ned Fulmer from popular YouTube channel The Try Guys. Ned, who got married to Ariel Fulmer in 2012, admitted to engaging in consensual workplace relationships after photos on Reddit appeared to show him kissing a colleague, Alex Herring, in a bar. Ned shares 2 children with Ariel and famously built his whole brand around his love and devotion to his family, becoming one of the internet's most prominent good guys. "Family should have always been my priority, but I lost focus and had a consensual workplace relationship," Ned said in a written statement. "I'm sorry for any pain that my actions have caused to the guys and to the fans, but most of all to Ariel. The only thing that matters right now is my marriage and my children, and that's where I'm going to focus my attention." The rest of the Try Guys, Keith, Zach, and Eugene, confirmed that Ned was no longer working with them as a result of the scandal. "We do not see a path forward together," they shared. "We thank you for your support as we navigate this change." Next up, we have Tristan Thompson and Khloe Kardashian. Tristan Thompson made headlines twice for cheating on Khloe Kardashian, whom he began dating in 2016 over the course of their relationship. The Cleveland Cavaliers player was spotted cozying up to 2 women in April 2018 while Kardashian was pregnant with their daughter True. Later that month, Us Weekly confirmed that Thompson had been unfaithful to the reality star since November 2017 with at least 5 different women. However, Thompson was present for their daughter's birth, which was documented on season 15 of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Us Weekly broke the news in May 2018 that the duo were quote fully back together despite Thompson's infidelity. The Revenge Body host defended her decision to reunite with the NBA star in November 2018. "His mistake was obviously humiliating and heartbreaking, but I do believe I am strong enough to endure anything," she tweeted at the time. "I choose to find a life lesson in every situation, even the nasty ones. Tristan has grown from this, but most importantly, he's a beautiful father to our sweet baby True." The athlete and Kardashian split for a second time when he was seen kissing Kylie Jenner's then best friend Jordan Woods at a party in 2019. Next up, we have Kristen Stewart, who cheated on Robert Pattinson with one of her directors, Rupert Sanders. "I'm deeply sorry for the hurt and embarrassment I've caused to those close to me and everybody this has affected," she said at the time. This momentary indiscretion has jeopardized the most important thing in my life, the person I love and respect the most, Rob. I love him, I'm so sorry." Sanders, for his part, publicly apologized to his then wife, Liberty Ross, and their 2 children, Skyla and Tennyson. "I am utterly distraught about the pain I have caused my family," the English director said in a statement. "My beautiful wife and heavenly children are all I have in this world. I love them with all my heart. I'm praying that we can get through this together." Both couples called it quits after the news broke. Next up, we have Shakira and Gerard Piqué. Piqué was having an affair with a 22-year-old girl while in a relationship with Shakira. Shakira and Piqué, a professional soccer player, were together from 2011 to 2022 and have 2 kids, though they they never officially married. In her first interview about the breakup in September, Shakira told Elle, "Sometimes I just feel like this is all a bad dream and that I'm gonna wake up at some point. But no, it's real." She continued, "And what's also real is the disappointment to see something as sacred and as special as I thought was the relationship I had with my kid's father, and see that turned into something vulgarized and cheapened by the media." But by January 2023, the gloves were off. Shakira broke records when she dropped Music Session 53, which is apparently about PK. His new 23-year-old girlfriend, and how Shakira is worth, quote, 2 22-year-olds. Insider's Alan Dawson previously reported. Our next cheating couple is Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner. While the world is currently wrapped up in Bennifer, the other one with Jennifer Lopez, lest we forget that Ben Affleck was once in a soap operatic turn of events caught cheating on Jennifer Garner, the mother of his children and wife of 10 years. He cheated on Jennifer Garner with, guess this, the nanny. The couple divorced in 2018, and after marrying him last year, Jennifer Lopez went on saying that, "Honestly, I would simply walk out if she discovered he'd been unfaithful instead of, quote, flying into a rage." Next up, we have Jude Law and Sienna Miller. The pair were a picture-perfect Hollywood couple. The couple had been engaged for 8 months when Jude Law's kid's nanny, Daisy Wright, claimed that the two had been involved in an affair while he was filming a movie in New Orleans. Law then published an apology to Miller in the British Press Association, saying, "There is no defense for my actions, which I sincerely regret, and I ask that you respect our privacy at this very difficult time." Miller and Law were on and off for the next few years, breaking up for good in 2011. "That was one of the most challenging moments I hope I'll never have to experience again," she told the Daily Beast in 2022. The next celeb may come as a bit of a shock. We have David Letterman. David Letterman had only been married to his wife for 6 months, although they had been together for over 20 years, when he admitted to having multiple affairs with women who worked for him on air, including his longtime assistant Stephanie Burkett. The affair came to light when Stephanie's boyfriend Robert Halderman, a producer at CBS, allegedly tried to extort Letterman for $2 million in exchange for his silence. But David did not take up the offer and instead said this on live television: "This morning I did something I've never done in my life. I had to go downtown and testify before a grand jury." Letterman revealed to the studio audience that he received a package 3 weeks ago containing a threat to reveal those indiscretions. If Letterman did not pay the individual a large sum of money, specified as $2 million, he said that the package contained a letter that said, "I know that you do some terrible, terrible things, and I can prove that you do those terrible things." And sure enough, what was contained in the package was proof that I do terrible, terrible things, he said. Our next celeb couple is Kevin Hart and Eniko Parrish. Kevin Hart's infidelity story is honestly a little similar to Letterman's, as he was also being extorted. After denying any wrongdoing, he took to Instagram in 2017 to apologize to his wife Eniko Parrish and his kids. It was then later revealed that somebody was in possession of an explicit video of Hart and was attempting to receive money from him. Hart and Parrish stayed together, and he spoke about it on a podcast in 2020. Our final celebrity couple involves Arnold Schwarzenegger. When Arnold Schwarzenegger and Maria Shriver announced their separation in 2011 after 25 years of marriage, it was a shock to everybody. The bigger shock, however, came later when the world found out that Schwarzenegger was the father of a son born in 1997, mothered by the couple's housekeeper at the time. It's always the housekeeper. "Remember, it's not like we had a feud," he explained to People magazine in an interview. "We didn't have a fight." He added, "It's just my F-up. My chapter with Maria will continue on forever," he told People. "Even though it's a different relationship and we are now separated, there's no reason for me to feel anything other than and love for Maria.
Infidelity played a part in the end of Billy Ray Cyrus and Fire Rose's marriage. This was according to a source telling US Weekly. They were always fighting and the relationship was intense and toxic. Billy accused Fire Rose of cheating, and that was the final straw for him. The source added that Miley, Noah, and their siblings never understood the relationship and why Billy married her so abruptly. Nobody approved of this marriage. According to the source, Miley is hopeful this will give some peace to the family, and she thinks this is a step in the right direction. Billy Ray's reps told us they had no comments. So just 7 months after their wedding, Billy Ray Cyrus filed paperwork on June 11th to end this marriage. What did he cite? Irreconcilable differences, but he also cited inappropriate marital conduct. The achy breaky heart singer will also continue to pay about $5,000 a month for housing in Tennessee for a period of 90 days or until they finalize their divorce. Gypsy Rose Blanchard and Ryan Scott Anderson separated just 3 months after her release from prison. Gypsy confirmed the news in a statement obtained by People, saying, "They've been asking what's going on in my life. Unfortunately, my husband and I are going through a separation, and I moved in with my parents down the bayou. I have the support of my family and friends to help guide me through this. I am learning to listen to my heart." Well, after Blanchard announced her split from her husband in March, she and her former partner, Ken Urker, sparked reconciliation rumors. And this was just in early April, after his mother, Raina Williams, confirmed the two went out to lunch and to a tattoo parlor together, because they got matching tattoos. So that month, it was reported that they were officially back together. And in July, Gypsy confirmed they were expecting their first offspring together. While serving time in prison, Gypsy was actually in a relationship with Urker, who first started as a pen pal. And although Ken has largely stayed out of the spotlight, Gypsy's revealed a couple of details about the relationship over the years, mentioning he was one of her first major heartbreaks, and now they're back together. But that timeline doesn't match up. Barry Keoghan and Sabrina Carpenter's relationship hasn't been without its fair share of rumors. During his conversations, Barry was asked about the rumors that he and his former fiancée had split up. In response, he was like, "Yeah, little, no comment, very little comment." But then, at the time that article hit the press, there was rumors swirling. The Sun was publishing an article about the end of his relationship with the mother of his offspring. And according to that report, which cited sources, the end of the relationship happened partially because Barry partied too much. And then on top of that, the Sun's article claimed that Barry was accused of becoming too close to another woman, the mystery woman being none other than Sabrina Carpenter. Look at the relationship timeline, folks. Things don't match up. According to People magazine, Natalie Portman quietly filed for divorce from Benjamin Millepied last July, but their split was only finalized back in February. According to news outlets, a rep for the actor confirmed the news as well. It was initially really tough for her, but her friends rallied around her and helped her get through the worst of it. Natalie was coming out of a really tough and painful year, but she's come out the other side of it stronger and is finding joy in her family, friends, and work. This is according to a source that is close to Natalie. So the divorce came after Page Six broke the news that the choreographer had allegedly cheated on Portman with a climate activist named Camille Etienne, and she's young. And by that I mean half his age. When you consider the fact that technically the whole Natalie and Benjamin relationship started possibly under cheating circumstances on the Black Swan set, well, once a cheater, always a cheater. According to The Guardian and other unconfirmed reports, Ben was living with his former partner, ballet dancer Isabella Boylston, in 2009, and left her for Portman. In a 2018 interview with Hoda for SiriusXM, Natalie said she was in dreamland while filming the physically demanding drama, because she was getting to know her partner at the same time. She called the early stages of their relationship romantic, because they were catching feelings for each other, while he was teaching her how to dance. Yeah, this is a case of showmance turned romance turned bust. Tori Spelling and Dean McDermott's turbulent relationship has been filled with scandal from the very beginning. The 50-year-old actress and the 57-year-old actor were married to other people when they met on the set of their Lifetime movie Mind Over Matter, and this was back in July of 2005. Spelling and actor Charlie Shanahan had tied the knot a year earlier, while McDermott had been married for 12 years to actress Mary Jo Eustace. The Beverly Hills 90210 star revealed in her 2009 memoir, Storytelling, that she and McDermott had felt an instant connection and had spent the night together at a hotel after they first met. "It was love at first sight. I fell so hard, then I noticed he had a wedding ring," Spelling wrote. "And oh yeah, I had a husband too." Spelling and McDermott announced their engagement in December of 2005 and tied the knot in Fiji in May of 2006. Less than a month after their divorces from their ex-spouses were finalized. The pair sparked rumors of a split in 2010 after they were seen fighting in scenes from their show. Spelling later quashed the divorce speculation during an appearance on the Today Show. "We're committed to each other, we're committed to this family, but we work on things just like everybody else." In March of 2013, Spelling slammed reports that she and McDermott were headed for a divorce. Well, McDermott was accused of cheating on spelling in December of that year. Emily Goodhand, then 28, told US Weekly that she and McDermott had a brief affair while he was promoting a show, Chopped Canada, in Toronto. The following month, McDermott admitted he had cheated on his wife and had entered rehab. Selling Sunset's Chelsea Lescani had her reasons for filing for divorce from her husband Jeff. Chelsea believes that Jeff was unfaithful in their marriage, and that is why she filed for divorce. This is according to a source telling US Weekly. The divorce was looming for weeks, and she decided to abruptly file and get the heck out of there. Weeks after announcing her shocking split from Cincinnati Bengals offensive guard Cody Ford, social media star Tiana Robillard opened up about what led to the end of the couple's engagement. The influencer said she had started planning their wedding in Dallas when their relationship took a turn. So Tiana was in Paris for a girls' trip around the end of May, when she felt her communication with Cody getting kind of weird. The day she got home from Paris, she went live on TikTok and received messages seemingly alleging that Cody had been deceiving her. She was like, I looked through my messages and I found what I needed. And she got receipts that, he had cheated. She mentioned that she knew that she had to leave after she found out. She said everything felt fake. You got down on one knee a month before this. Like, who am I with? Well, it looks like Ariana Grande and boyfriend Ethan Slater didn't wait until they were officially separated from their respective spouses to begin dating. It's alleged that the pop singer and the up-and-coming Broadway actor became romantically involved not long after they began working together on the Wicked movies, with a report saying that they went on multiple double dates with their respective spouses. And they were sloppy on the set when their spouses weren't around, and they were spotted making out at an Oscar party. Summer House star Sam Fahey confirmed during the January 16th episode of Not Skinny But Not Fat podcast that she and Corey Kiefer, who she had met on season 7 of The Bravo show, had split after more than a year together. I had said I love you to him, and he never said it to me. I didn't break up with him because I don't love him, I broke up with him because he doesn't love me. Ouch. And finally, Rip Haler 2.0. While Taylor Russell and Harry Styles dated for 14 months, they're the latest celeb couple on the chopping block, according to People. According to The Sun, the pair took a make-or-break trip to Tokyo in April and called it quits the following month. An insider told the news that he's been in America, she's been in London, they made a lovely couple, and it was obvious Taylor made Harry happy. Things have become strained, and they've taken some time out. Well, Harry has a history of cheating on his partners, most notably one Taylor Swift, so I have a feeling my deja vu is kicking in. Justin Baldoni has tried to put any sort of chit-chat of a feud with his It Ends With Us co-star Blake Lively to bed after the rumor mill went into overdrive about potential tension between the pair. So the rumors began earlier this month following the New York City premiere of their film, when fans noticed that those two weren't posing together on the red carpet. While Lively was photographed with her husband Ryan Reynolds, their mutual friend Hugh Jackman, and her co-stars Jenny Slate and Brandon Sklenner, Baldoni was seen appearing on the red carpet solo, or with his wife, Emily. Fans of Lively also have noticed that Blake isn't following Baldoni on Instagram. In fact, none of the cast members on the film are. Of course, sure, an Instagram follow isn't exactly concrete evidence when it comes to signs of feud, but it does raise some eyebrows. In a recent interview with Entertainment Tonight, Baldoni suggested that Lively should direct the sequel to the film. He's like, I think Blake Lively's ready to direct. That's what I think. In another interview with Today, he mentioned how he had to work with complex personalities on set. He said every movie is a miracle, and then, of course, you're navigating complex personalities and trying to get everybody on the same page with the same vision. And mistakes are always made, and then you figure out how to move past them. On the other side, Blake Lively appeared to dodge a question about building trust with Baldoni as a scene partner during a Yahoo Entertainment interview that's been posted on TikTok. She said, this movie was such a challenge because you have scenes that are deeply painful and traumatic and physical, but you also have scenes that are full of levity and light and romance. And normally when I see this type of character on screen, you know what's gonna happen. And you're like, that guy's full of red flags. Blake, who by the way is a co-executive producer on the project, also recently revealed that her husband, Ryan Reynolds, wrote a pivotal scene of the film. She said that the iconic rooftop scene was written by him. This is very interesting because she's like, he works on everything I do. I work on everything he does. So his wins, his celebrations are mine and mine are his. This has led to a lot of fan speculation that maybe the iconic duo possibly seized creative control of the film, and much to the director's dismay. Also, Justin Baldoni's podcast co-host and friend Liz Plank wasn't pictured with him on the red carpet either. She did attend the premiere. She posted about it to her Insta stories, but she didn't post her any pictures with Baldoni, and she didn't tag him in any of her posts. Also, they haven't released a new episode of their podcast since June. This is just overall so messy, so come on, concrete news. any day now. As you may have heard, Drake and Kendrick Lamar are in the throes of an intense, and I don't know if it's ever gonna end, sort of rap battle. Although the two artists have long been at odds, this latest chapter ignited in March with the release of Like That, which quickly kicked off a really crazy back and forth that went on for months. It might have ended last month, but I'm not holding my breath. Dave Grohl seemingly tried to start a new feud with Taylor Swift. So those two were playing in London on the same night earlier this year, and on stage, Dave Grohl was like, "I tell you man, you don't want to suffer the wrath of Taylor Swift." Apparently, wait for this, Grohl then said the Foo Fighters call this current tour the Errors Tour, and also went on to imply that Taylor doesn't sing live, even though we all know she does. JoJo Siwa admitted that her very public beef with Candace Cameron Bure was stupid, but that doesn't mean she wants to break bread with her. So JoJo Siwa reflected on this dispute, which began in July of 2022, when she called the former Full House star the rudest celebrity she'd ever met in an episode of her podcast. And she said that she regretted using Candace Cameron Bure's image in her TikTok because she's like, at the time, they had no real beef. Although the Karma singer initially felt remorse for putting the sitcom star on blast, she quickly changed her tune when she learned that the devout Christian had supported a lot of shady organizations that do not support queer folks. JoJo Siwa, who was very openly gay, became even more infuriated when Candace Cameron Bure said in November of 2022 that this marriage is not traditional. After Billy Ray Cyrus split from his wife Tish in July of 2022, he moved on with singer Fire Rose, who he initially met while on set of Hannah Montana. Fire Rose was a guest star on the show when she was just 22. The pair, who have a 27-year age difference, worked together as music collaborators before getting engaged in November of 2022. Now Billy is breaking his silence after a private conversation between him and Fire Rose was publicly leaked. In July, the country star used social media to address the audio recording that went viral. And in that audio recording, he can be heard berating and belittling his, former wifey, the other one he's trying to get a divorce from now. Cyrus claimed everything I thought I knew about her was a lie. Allegedly, Fire Rose was trying to take over his career, his life, and use his last name for her own gain. He concluded his post by warning Fire Rose that he would see her in court. Gigi Hadid is reportedly furious that her boyfriend Bradley Cooper's ex, Suki Waterhouse, negatively reflected on their breakup in an interview. According to sources, they've fallen out and there's no indication that things will ever be the same for them. Gigi is totally Team Bradley and taking this up as her own cause, and she isn't about to let this go. BB Rexa is calling out G-Eazy. On June 13th, Rexa shared a screen grab of a text message that she'd received from her team about potentially creating some social content with the rapper in New York. Now, Rexa collaborated with G-Eazy back in 2015 on their massive hit, Me, Myself, and I, and then they teamed up again for All Your Fault Part 1, the track FFF, as in F Fake Friends. But since then, it looks like this relationship soured. Rexa wrote in a since deleted Instagram story, "At G-Eazy, you have my number. Why don't you text me and ask me yourself, you stuck-up ungrateful loser? You're lucky people are liking you again." Okay, so there's some tension there. For sure. Rebel Wilson's newest book, Rebel Rising, caused a lot of chatter when it was released, with some portions highly redacted earlier this year. The actor didn't hold back in her writing. She shared everything about her rocky upbringing, her fertility journey, and a lot of drama with Sacha Baron Cohen. Prior to the release of the book, she shared a video on Instagram where she said she had worked with a massive a-hole and there was a whole chapter dedicated to him in her book. Apparently the Borat star was trying to threaten her and attempting to stop the book from being published. She mentioned that when the two were on set together, it felt like every time she spoke to him, he'd mention that he wanted her to go nude in a future scene. And she's like, haha, I don't do nudity, Sasha. Well, at one point in the shoot, Wilson was told she needed to be on set to film some sort of additional scene, and when she arrived on set to film said scene, Sacha Baron Cohen pulled his pants down and said, "Okay, now I want you to stick your finger in a place that is not meant for fingers." Sacha Baron Cohen has denied any of this happened. Prior to the book's release, a representative forum said, "While we appreciate the importance of speaking out, these false claims are directly contradicted by extensive detailed evidence, including documents, film footage, and eyewitness accounts from those present before, during, and after production." Well, Wilson wrote that the experience led her to refuse to promote the movie at all, because that was the only power she felt she had left in the situation, which is very scary. Holly Madison isn't feeling very playful towards Crystal Hefner. The author called out the wife of the late Playboy founder, Hugh Hefner, for copying her writing style in her new memoir, Only Say Good Things: Surviving Playboy and Finding Myself, which was released earlier this year. Holly said, "Anybody who's read my book that came out 8 years ago and then read her book? Tell me the narrative doesn't sound exactly the same. Drives me up a wall. She said this during an episode of her podcast, Lady Gang. And while Holly admitted there would be definitely similarities between her 2015 bestseller and Crystal's work, seeing as they both had tumultuous relationships with Hugh and lived in the Playboy Mansion, she said that reading Crystal's story felt like reading her own book. She weaves fairy tale references in and out just like I did and uses a lot of the same psychological catchphrases and stuff like that, Holly said. I'm weirded out by it, especially since she had a ghostwriter. Like, do your research and don't copy. And for Taylor Swift, some feuds are hard to bury. It's a fact only proven earlier this year with the release of her 11th and a surprise double album, The Tortured Poets Department, in which the Grammy winner seems to take a very thinly veiled jab at Kim Kardashian. Those two have been feuding forever. The jab comes in the form of a track on the part 2 of the album titled Thank You Amy. And yeah, the capitalized letters do indeed spell out the name Kim. What followed was a bit of a retelling of Taylor and Kim's history in the form of Taylor versus a high school bully.
Well, Aliyah Baldwin threw a used tampon at a woman. Page 6 was the first to confirm on Friday that she, a whole 31 years old, was arrested at Club Elan in Savannah, Georgia. Upon police arrival, the bar manager informed officers that Aliyah had allegedly attacked multiple employees as they were escorting her out of the bar after she vomited in a restroom where she wasn't supposed to be. Police then watched security footage which depicted Aliyah forcing her way into the locked bathroom and a bar employee telling her she can't be in there. He's seen pointing to the public restroom directly next to the employee one. Following this, a bartender gets involved as Aliyah is throwing up, visibly telling her she needs to leave the bathroom. Police report that's when the used tampon thrown at the bartender, prompting Aliyah to be forcefully removed from the bar by security. According to the police report, a bouncer had Aliyah in a bear hug as he removed her, but when instructed by the bar manager to release her, she turned around and kicked him in the groin. This is confirmed by security camera footage, and that she also ripped a handful of hair from another bouncer's head in the process. After being thrown out of the bar, police report Aliyah herself called them. She called the police to report being forcefully and wrongfully removed from a club. Police show up, report that she initially denied forcing her way into the bathroom, only stating she needed to use the restroom and throw up to change her tampon. So, Aliyah, who's a mother of one, is arrested almost immediately and faced multiple charges of simple assault for throwing the tampon, 1 count of battery for allegedly kicking the bouncer, and another count of battery for pulling another one of the bouncer's hair out. She's also charged with criminal trespassing for refusing to vacate the club. Rapper Killer Mike was booked on misdemeanor battery charge following his citizen's arrest at the 2024 Grammys. He was released from jail about an hour after he'd been booked, police records show. Mike had allegedly just knocked down a security officer after he did not move fast enough in the pouring rain. Footage obtained by TMZ shows the aftermath of the alleged altercation in which other security personnel can be seen trying to stop Killer Mike from getting away, and a later clip of him cuffed and being led to a Grammy back room to await police arrival, with a source telling Hollywood Reporter his detainment was big nothing and he would likely be released within a few hours, which he was. I greatly appreciate the concern and support, but I am better than okay, Killer Mike said in a statement obtained by Page 6 the following Monday evening. As you can imagine, there was a lot going on and there was some confusion around which door my team and I should enter. We experienced an overzealous security guard, and my team and I have the utmost confidence that I will ultimately be cleared of any wrongdoing. Until that time, keep listening to Michael and keep going after your dreams. He makes that reference because before the chaos ensued, Killer Mike had accepted all 3 Grammys he was nominated for this year. Best Rap Album for his 6th studio album, Michael, Best Rap Performance, and Best Rap Song for his hit Scientists and Engineers. Tekashi 6ix9ine was in bars once again. What's new? Authorities in the Dominican Republic arrested the US rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine on January 18th of 2024 for charges of domestic violence. A judge following Thursday conditionally released the US rapper, who's been ordered to pay $510 deposit, undergo government counseling, and then meet with authorities every 2 months until they conclude their investigation into the allegations he harmed his girlfriend, a Dominican rapper known as Yalain. The judge, Fatima Velos, issued protection orders for both sides of the couple, however, because Yalain was in jail on charges for harming Tekashi not too long ago. And it's honestly his second time that he's being arrested in the Dominican Republic as well. The first being in October after he was accused of harming a local producer after he and his partner were recording at the studio. And then everybody knows how Hernandez was previously accused in the US of using a violent gang as a personal hit squad, but then he turned snitch and avoided jail time. You can call him your fool because Darius Rucker was arrested. The Hootie and Blowfish frontman was taken into custody and booked on 3 misdemeanor charges, including 2 counts of simple possession / casual exchange of controlled substance and 1 count of violation of state's vehicle registration law. Police pulled over Rucker, 57, for driving with an expired registration tag, according to TMZ. Once they reached his vehicle, however, police officers smelled skunk in the air and asked Rucker if he'd been smoking. Rucker claimed he had not, but he may have smoked the previous day, and then naturally when the Popos searched the singer's car, they discover a ganja pen as well as 14 unmarked pills, which Rucker claimed were his girlfriend's, and then the authorities claimed they test the 14 pills and identify them as a controlled substance. So, Rucker is released shortly after he posts a $10,500 bail, only to be clowned online by his ex-girlfriend Kate Quigley, who subtweeted a mood when you hear your D-bag ex got arrested, #karma. Diddy hasn't been arrested yet, but we all know it's coming. What we didn't expect was his son Justin Combs' arrest. Diddy's eldest son Justin Combs is arrested on charges of DUI early in the 2024 season. Having run a red light and being pulled over, the police officer smelled liquor on the 29-year-old's breath and proceeded to have him perform a sobriety test, which he failed. Combs is taken into custody after the officer determined there's probable cause for him to be arrested for suspected DUI and was then booked into LA County Jail in connection with a misdemeanor DUI charge with a bail set at $5,000. Combs was released of his own recusance on Sunday afternoon. Justin is Diddy's eldest son with Misa Hylton. He played football in college at UCLA and he graduated from university in 2016 with a degree in business admin. He's pursued several business ventures in the entertainment industry over the years, but failed those the same way he did his sobriety test. Outer Banks star Austin North was arrested for allegedly attacking employees at the UMC hospital in Las Vegas on February 15th, 2024. According to TMZ, North, 27, allegedly went out of control in the ER department that Tuesday night to the point where he had to be restrained. When the authorities arrived, they interviewed victims, including several nurses and a phlebotomist, who claimed they were attacked by the Netflix star quite literally out of nowhere. North allegedly punched the nurse in the head, pushed the phlebotomist onto a table, and then shoved another nurse in the face. The phlebotomist told police they then hit North in the head in self-defense with a nearby medical tray, which allowed security officers to restrain North. Austin was only able to hit one of them before they successfully did so. TMZ reports that North was handcuffed to a gurney until cops arrived and read him his Miranda rights before they arrested him for battery, which he has since bonded out of. In his mugshot obtained by TMZ, you can actually see cuts and bruises across his face, forehead, ear area, likely caused by the medical tray. North broke his silence on the attack the following Thursday night, revealing he has little to no recollection of the event, saying, "I'm deeply upset by the events that took place in the Las Vegas this past week," he wrote on Instagram. "My friend drove me to the hospital because I thought I was having a heart attack. Several tests were taken, including blood, which came back negative for any substances or alcohol in my system." He continued, "I was having a severe anxiety attack. I have little memory of the event that day at the hospital, and I have utmost respect for healthcare workers and hospital staff." Speaking of rough mugshot, you should see Zachary Ty Bryan's most recent. He's been arrested again, this time for DUI in California. Arrest records from the Riverside County Sheriff's Office, seen by Page 6, show police booked the home improvement alum, 42, into John Benoit Detention Center on charges of felony DUI with at least 3 felony priors and misdemeanor contempt of court. He was released the same day on a $50,000 bail and has a court hearing scheduled on April 23rd. TMZ was the first to break the news of the arrest. Reports of the arrest were first put into motion when officers conducted a traffic stop shortly after 2 a.m. local time, having spotted a vehicle they suspected of being involved in a traffic collision hit and run. After pulling it over and speaking to the driver, who's later identified as Brian, he showed signs of impairment, which prompted the arrest. The former Outer Limits star arrest is just the latest in a series of his criminal busts. I hope chipped beef pairs well with toilet wine, because that's all Darnell Super Chef Ferguson's gonna be drinking pretty soon. Super Chef Ferguson was arrested for burglary, strangulation, and threatening, Page 6 confirmed on January 10th of 2024. The Food Network star is also facing misdemeanor charges of assault, menacing, criminal mischief, and theft receipt of a stolen credit or debit card. In the police documents, an unnamed woman, now revealed to actually be his estranged wife, Tahada Ferguson, said Darnell broke into her Louisville home on January 2nd and started just punching the walls before grabbing her by the neck. He then allegedly put pressure and then threatened to kill her before making her lose consciousness. Once she regained consciousness, she claimed Ferguson pulled her pants off and demanded to see her groin, saying some bonkers things, and she manages to scramble away and call authorities. The TV personality leaves shortly after and takes her credit cards, debit cards, and her ID with him. The popular Louisville chef, who shares 8 kids with his wife Tahada, has been a staple of the Food Network for years, and now Page 6 confirmed he's taken into custody and arraigned, pleading not guilty, and his bond is set at $10,000. An emergency protection order was also issued for Tahada. Arnold Schwarzenegger was detained at a Munich airport report, early January for 3 hours, Page 6 can confirm this, the star was detained at customs for, and I quote, traveling with a watch he owns that he quote might be auctioning at his charity in Austria. Munich customs spokesman Tom Meister told Bild, the outlet that broke the news, that their agency had initiated criminal tax proceedings because the watch should have been registered since it was an import. The piece of jewelry in question, reportedly from the Swiss brand Audemars Piguet, and is worth more than $21,000. Schwarzenegger was never asked to fill out a declaration form, and he answered every question from custom officers honestly. He cooperated at every step, even though it was, quote, an incompetent shakedown, a total comedy of errors that would make a very funny cop movie, the source adds, and in a photo obtained by Bild, he looks pretty jovial about it all. According to Bild, Schwarzenegger initially took the interrogation fairly calmly, but then the time and the procedure got on his nerves. Schwarzenegger agreed to prepay potential taxes on the watch even though it was his personal property, but officers allegedly then had issues using a credit card machine for up for an hour. And last up, sadly, Tiffany Haddish, who you may recall got arrested in Beverly Hills in November when cops claimed at the time that she was found asleep at the wheel of her car, which was stopped awkwardly on the street, partially jutting out into oncoming lanes. The Girls Trip star was originally charged with 2 DUI charges after she fell asleep at the wheel on her way home after volunteering and performing at the Laugh Factory annual free Thanksgiving feast. She was out in record time and back to doing a stand-up performance at the Laugh Factory in Long Beach, California the very next night. And she poked fun at the situation, stating, "I had prayed to God to send me a man with a job career, preferably in a uniform, and I answered my prayers." Haddish pleaded no contest on February 2nd of 2024 to the reckless driving charge known as wet reckless as part of a plea deal related to that arrest in November, which California Vehicle Code shows is a reduced charge of reckless driving while there was consumption of an alcoholic beverage or ingestion or administration of a substance by the defendant in connection to the offense. As part of the deal, Haddish is placed on a summary probation for a year. She's ordered to complete driver's education, but this isn't to say she's totally out of the woods. Her Georgia DUI case is still ongoing because in January 2022, she was arrested on suspicion of DUI then and taken into Peachtree City police officers in Georgia. After that arrest in California, the Georgia prosecutors filed a motion to modify Haddish's bond conditions to include a request for the court to prohibit her from drugs and alcohol, according to the court document obtained. This case is still in motion, with Haddish planning to fight the filed one. It makes sense she'd want these DUI cases to be resolved the way the LA one was, because if she ended up getting convicted for both, it would have meant jail time. Now, that's not happening.
The Grammys are one of the most important music events of the year, but it doesn't always go according to plan. With so much excitement and nervous energy in one room, it's no wonder it had its fair share of awkward moments this year. The Grammys had a massive slip up last night, accidentally releasing the wrong name on their X page for the recipient of the Best Rap Song Award. They announced that Barbie World from Barbie the Album, performed by Nicki Minaj and Ice Spice, won, when it was actually Killer Mike for Scientists and Engineers. This was especially awful, as this would have been Nicki Minaj's first Grammy win, something fans have been lobbying for years. Nicki has been nominated 12 times since 2011, but has never taken anything home. It was an unfortunate mistake that was quickly fixed, but not before multiple fans grabbed screenshots of the tweet.
They announced on Twitter, and this is their Twitter, that Barbie World, Nicki Minaj and Ice Spice just won Best Rap Song. Then they gonna say the Grammys official account mistakenly announced Barbie World as the Best Rap Song winner instead of Scientists and Engineers. What the hell?
Miley Cyrus has finally won a Grammy. It's about time. She won for her track Flowers in the Best Pop Solo Performance category. Flowers spent 38 weeks at the top of the Billboard Adult Contemporary chart, making it the longest running #1 hit in the chart's history. The hook of the song and just the message in general had quite a chokehold over TikTok when it first came out. My point is, the song was popular, everybody was singing it, just not last night during Miley's performance, leading to an awkward moment where Cyrus called out the silent crowd saying, "Why are you acting like you don't know this song?" Which is fair, the song is super fun, and pretty soon after, lots of people were up and dancing. Miley continued to bring the energy after she sang, started to cry, but then remembered, "I just won my first Grammy." No one was silent after that. She also received the Grammy for the Record of the Year, also for Flowers. Bebe Rexha was nominated this year with David Guetta in the Pop Dance Recording category for their collab One in a Million. Bebe is known on her own for party anthems like Me, Myself and I and In the Name of Love, but did you know about her extensive opera opera training? If you didn't, you probably found out last night in the middle of her red carpet interview with Laverne Cox. The pair started out with the average red carpet talking points, the songs, and the glam, but towards the end of the interview, Laverne brought up a past time the pair had met when Baby revealed she wanted people to get to know the real her. She also brought up the fact that Baby is a talented opera singer, asking her to share something about herself singing if she wants. And she did! The two of them were having a lot of fun, but for the viewers at home and on the side of the screen, there was a bit of confusion as to why a high C was suddenly being heard. Plus, singing with no music, unprepared, is always an awkward experience. Although, if this were going to happen on any red carpet, it would be the Grammys. Just a few days ago, UMG Studios announced that it would be pulling all of their artists' music from the popular social media app TikTok, prompting disappointments from fans worldwide. This would include songs from people like Taylor Swift, Olivia Rodrigo, Harry Styles, and Drake. UMG announced that the reasoning for that was TikTok wasn't providing adequate compensation for the use of the music. This year's host, Trevor Noah, he did not shy away from the situation. He called it out, saying, "TikTok, shame on you for ripping off all these artists. That's Spotify's job." Spotify was minding their business, but I guess no one is safe. Spotify did have a similar controversy a few years ago, but there is a new policy being put in place this year that no one is a fan of. The change is that if an artist receives less than 1,000 streams, they won't be compensated at all. For reference, Spotify pays artists about 0.003 to 0.005 of a cent per stream. That's only about $3 for 999 streams. Maybe they did deserve the call out. SZA won her 4th Grammy yesterday for her song Snooze. It was in the Best R&B category, but she was the most nominated artist for the evening with 9 nominations. Longtime friend Lizzo got to announce the R&B win, and it was met with plenty of excitement from the audience, only SZA was nowhere to be found. She took so long to come out on stage that people started looking for her. It only took about 20 seconds for her to come out on stage, but on a stage and screen as big as the Grammys, that feels like an eternity. SZA did explain her absence during her acceptance speech. She was in the middle of a costume change and had to do a, I'm assuming, celebration shot. Casey Musgraves was nominated in 2 categories last night, Best Country Song and Best Country Duo/Group Performance, for the song I Remember Everything, winning the latter. She had the opportunity to present an award this year. Unfortunately, the new winner almost didn't hear their name. Casey was standing so far back from the mic that the audience and at-home viewers had to strain to hear her. She did correct her mistake in time to announce the winner, eventually moving further forwards to actually announce the name. There was a bit of awkward silence as everyone tried to hear exactly what was going on beforehand though. Another awkward red carpet moment came from actor and singer Michael Trotter. He revealed in an interview that he had been pretty worried because he thought his wife, singer Tanya Trotter, was going to divorce him before their Grammy nomination. As an interviewer, I wouldn't know what to do with that if I received that info, but they handled it well. The pair is still together under the name War and Treaty and were nominated for their collaboration Lover's Game in the Best New Artist category. They received 2 nominations for the evening, but did not go home with either, unfortunately. Not everyone loves audience participation, even some of the biggest artists on the planet. During Fantasia's Tina Turner tribute, eagle-eyed fans spotted Beyoncé slightly hiding under her hat, not making eye contact when Fantasia was looking for a dance partner. The performance is a lot of fun and packed full of energy, so I can understand Beyoncé maybe wanting to sit back and enjoy watching instead of being a part of the piece. Beyoncé was not nominated for any Grammys this year. She did attend though with her daughter Blue Ivy to support her husband Jay-Z, who was receiving the Dr. Dre Global Impact Award. Beyoncé has received 88 nominations and 32 wins over the years, making her the artist with the most Grammy awards, yet never an Album of the Year, which actually led to another awkward moment. Not necessarily awkward for the audience, and more awkward for the Grammys. During Jay-Z's acceptance speech for the Impact Award, he used part of his time to call out the award show for snubbing his wife in the Best Album category. He said, "I don't want to embarrass this young lady, but she has more Grammys than anyone and never won Album of the Year. Even by your own metric, that does not work. Think about that. Most Grammys, never won Album of the Year. That doesn't work." And he's right. Beyoncé has created some of the best music and pop culture moments of our generation, and she's never won in that category? That's kind of weird. This isn't the first time Jay-Z has stood up to the Grammys. In 1998, he boycotted the Grammys over rapper DMX's lack of nominations. Probably the most awkward moment of all happened after someone left the Grammy stage, rapper Killer Mike won 3 Grammys last night for Best Rap Song, Best Rap Performance, and Best Rap Album for his 2023 album, Michael. However, what should have been a celebratory evening turned sour when he was seen leaving the event in handcuffs. A social media post from the LAPD said the reason the rapper was taken into custody was because he got into a physical altercation that occurred at the 700 block of Chick Hearn Court. Allegedly, he got physical with a security guard that was not moving fast enough for Killer Mike's liking. No other details have been released yet. Coachella isn't very long, and yet so much went wrong this year, from technical difficulties ruining America's biggest music stars' performances to addressing love confessions live on stage. These are the top 10 embarrassing Coachella 2024 moments caught on camera. Coachella performances this year have been a mess across the board. We'll get to the big one at the end, but Grimes is unfortunately another victim of this. Grimes produces music in the lo-fi, R&B, and dance pop genres. Great choice for the festival. The tech for the festival didn't agree, I guess. Some of the DJ tracks were double the speed, among other random tech difficulties happening. It also apparently got so bad that Grimes screamed and cursed out of frustration. She had to stop the set multiple times, explain to the crowd in real time that she was having trouble mixing the songs because all the tracks were double the tempo. Overall, it sounds like a nightmare for the artist. The set actually got cut short because everything was going so wrong, and Grimes left the stage in the middle of one of her songs. She later apologized for the disaster on her X account, sharing that the reason the songs were messed up was because she had, in her words, outsourced essential things like record blocks, BPMs, and letting someone else organize the tracks on the SD card, etc. So it seems like someone else caused the speedy tracks. To add more context, Grimes went on to write, "The CDJs were showing me BPMs like 370, so I couldn't even mix manually by ear, and the front monitors were off, so it was literally sonic chaos on my end trying to guess how stuff was sounding for you guys." So it seems like the set truly was a hopeless case, as Grimes couldn't even hear what was happening. Luckily, she has said that she will fix everything herself in time for her next performance, but this was surely something out of a nightmare. Tyler, the Creator, is known for his animated stage presence and out-of-pocket remarks, never shying away from anything, not even at America's biggest music festival. This edition was Tyler, the Creator, addressing a friend's past affections for him. The friend was Jared Carmichael. Jared has recently revealed he used to have a crush on Tyler and that Tyler didn't reciprocate the feelings. Tyler acknowledged this on the Coachella stage, saying, "I'm guessing y'all got TikTok and probably seen my homie on camera. I looked terrible." So it seems even long after everything went down, Tyler, the Creator, is still not into it. Jared did express in an interview with Esquire that he appreciated that Tyler was willing to have a conversation with him about his crush in the first place. Who knows if he expected this to be brought up on such a big stage though. Nelly Furtado has left it all on the stage, including her own red stuff. The singer of hits like Eat Your Man was giving an incredible and energetic performance, and it seems that was her literal downfall. She had a nasty fall on stage, though she did get up and finished the set with plenty of energy. She later posted a photo of a pretty busted up finger with some lines of red running down the side. It looked pretty painful, so it definitely speaks to her professionalism and love for her work that she was able to just get back up with something so serious. She did smile big for the photo, writing in the caption, "Left it all on the stage." She certainly did. One interview went south almost as quick as it started. Singer-songwriter and actress Teyana Taylor is known for films like 1001 and songs like Gonna Love Me, and now storming out of interviews. The singer was being interviewed but apparently didn't appreciate the line of questioning. She started to express frustration and then ultimately stormed out. It was an intense moment, tensions were high. The interviewer looked on the verge of tears, the poor girl. Sounds pretty serious, right? Well, turns out it was all a prank. Taylor is just as funny as she is talented, it seems. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce make headlines wherever they go, even if they aren't doing anything. In this case, all the superstars did was watch Taylor's friend and Karma collaborator Coachella's performance. Ice Spice was performing all her hits and doing a great job. She even positively called out Taylor at one point, saying, "Shout out to Taylor, mother effing Swift," the statement being met with cheers from the audience. Taylor and Travis really were just minding their business, supporting Taylor's friend, dancing dancing with each other, and yet phones that should have been pointed towards the stage were directed at Taylor. It must be so awkward knowing that just your presence is distracting from your friend's performance. It must also feel awkward just having a bunch of phone cameras filming you flash on. Yet the international superstar handled it well, keeping her eyes on the stage and supporting her friend. Let's spice things up. JoJo Siwa's radical shift has been the internet's favorite topic for the past couple weeks. In case you missed it or you have been on a month-long vacation with no internet access, JoJo Siwa has gone from rainbow rhinestones to black rhinestones. She is undergoing a shift in her brand. She wants to be seen as more adult to match her new song, Karma. The opening lyrics of the song, I Was a Bad Girl, didn't fit with JoJo's old persona, her words, and so she needed to update her look to sing the song. The most recognizable look from this new era of JoJo would have to be the look she wore to the iHeartRadio Awards 2024 that was also the costume from her Karma music video. This is the one where she looks like she's going on tour with Kiss. Everyone's been trolling her for the better part of a week. She claims she's made the most major image shift of her generation. But many people online are pointing out that she just went from color sparkles to black sparkles, and that the core of what people know JoJo's brand to be is still the same. JoJo did an interview in the Karma Fit while at the iHeart Awards, and it went viral very fast. It is being parodied on all corners of the internet. JoJo was asked who her dream guest would be on her podcast, to which she responded, "Let's spice things up, one of my exes." The internet took the outfit and the comment and the voice and ran with it, and there is a high chance that if you have scrolled your For You page in the last week, you have been hit with this embarrassing moment. Barbie was a mega hit, the message of the film resounding with women and men all over the world, but Joe Coy seemed to have missed the message entirely if his embarrassing Golden Globes joke is any indicator. One of the many messages in the Barbie movie was about Barbie being more than a doll, more than just a woman's body parts. That seemed to have gone right over Joe's head. Last summer was the summer of Barbenheimer. Barbie and Oppenheimer, both amazing films, were coming out at the same time, and then because of that, they are pit against each other and have been ever since. Joe Coy continued this trend, but in a more disrespectful way. He praised the source material from Oppenheimer, talking about how it was a Pulitzer Prize-winning book, but his comments about Barbie, based on a doll with big boobs, that's it. Clearly patronizing the success of the film that so many people have expressed meant something to them and spoke accurately of the issues women and men face in society. The joke fell so flat you could feel the awkward tension from the comfort of your living room. An uninterested crowd is a performer's worst nightmare. Blur, unfortunately, got to experience that at Coachella this weekend. The English rock band were performing their many hits at the festival, and yet the crowd seemed like they would rather be anywhere else. The band apparently tried engaging with the crowd multiple times, tried to bring up the energy, but no one was into it. Sometimes they were even met with silence. At one point, it got to be too much, and the lead singer, Damon Albarn, addressed the bad vibes, saying, "You're never seeing us again, so you might as well effing sing it." I imagine the feeling of being in that crowd would have been like getting scolded by a teacher. I'm glad I wasn't there. Fans of the band online were quick to comment on the situation, one fan writing, "I'm convinced Coachella has the worst vibes and people possible. It's Blur, show some respect." Others pointing out that maybe the audience was younger and not as familiar with the pop band as they were not from America. Still, if you're going to see a band, even if you don't know them that well, if they're trying to bring up the energy, give them something. Opening monologues seem to be a tough thing to put together. Shortly after the failed Golden Globes opening, we got Jimmy Kimmel's Oscar disaster. Not everything was bad, and we will get to that in a second, but there were a couple jokes in there that were the cutest. One that stands out was when Kimmel joked about Robert Downey Jr.'s past substance issues, something that RDJ has been very clear he doesn't like talking about. His face after Like Taylor's didn't look too pleased. There was also a moment where Kimmel made a joke about poor things that Emma Stone looked like she didn't appreciate. So yes, Jimmy Kimmel has had his share of fails in that opening piece. However, he did make a point with one of his jokes. Director of Barbie, Greta Gerwig, did not get a nomination this year at the Oscars, something that many people believe was a massive snub. Kimmel acknowledged this in the monologue, saying, "Now Barbie is a feminist icon thanks to Greta Gerwig, who many believe deserved to be nominated for Best Director." The Oscars audience then started clapping in agreement, but then Jimmy caught them all with his next remark, saying, "You're the ones who didn't vote for her, by the way. Don't act like you had nothing to do with this. You did did this. He's right. Most of the people in that audience were the people that voted. It's their fault Greta was snubbed. So why were they acting like they were supporting her when they caused the problem? Most recent moment is fitting right in the last spot on this list, Lana Del Rey's Coachella set. This is not to say that Lana did a bad job, she was giving. It's just the microphone was not, it kept cutting out. Lana is known for having a powerful yet soft voice. Coachella is outside, a good mic is important in this situation. Unfortunately, Lana did not have that. She had to do sound checks with the audience, asking if they could even hear her. Stopping and starting constantly did have an effect on the energy of the set, which was unfortunate, considering she started out so strong coming in on the back of a motorbike. Overall, it was a tragic day in Coachella history. There was a bright spot though. Lana brought out another artist for her headlining performance, a great pick too, they have similar styles, Billie Eilish. Worked great for Eilish too, more exposure, especially with the new music coming out soon.
Highs, lows, WTFs, and woes. The Oscars are always full of fumbles and fuff-ups, from being played off by sudden blaring music to being bullied by the host or tripping on the red carpet. So, what was 2024's most embarrassing Oscar moments? Hosts do the most, so we'll break into everything awful said by Jimmy Kimmel first. Hosting the 96th Oscars is gonna have some pressure, but Kimmel's one of those few hosts who's done this rodeo more than once. Some years he's done better than others, and for the most part he balances terrible not landing jokes with genuine quality humor, or genuinely calling out people's behaviors, which everybody gets a kick out of. Like this year, when he addressed one of the biggest directorial snubs to ever happen in Hollywood against Greta Gerwig. It took all of 4 minutes at the top of the show before Kimmel addressed that elephant in the room. When the clapping began, however, Kimmel quipped, "I know you're clapping, but you are the ones who didn't vote for her, by the way. Don't act like you had nothing to do with this." That was pretty effing real of him. We need a little bit more of that in Hollywood. But anyway, that was one of his better moments of the night. He had his embarrassing moments, like his hair-raising one, where he described The Zone of Interest as a rom-com to Germans. So when he brought up the now Oscar winner Robert Downey Jr.'s past substance addiction, the room got pretty awkwardly quiet in that "are we allowed to laugh at that and what he's saying" type of way. Congratulations to Cillian Murphy's co-star Robert Downey Jr. This is the highest point of Robert Downey Jr.'s career, Jimmy had said before adding, "well, one of the highest points." Robert was a good sport about the comment and tapped his nose as the tense laughter rang out in the room. In response to the nose tapping, Jimmy went straight up off script, as he often does during award shows, and continued to add, "was that too on the nose, or was that a substance motion you just made?" Downey then motioned to wrap it up before mouthing, "keep it going." While the interaction between them left some people wondering if it was a bit or not, it's easy to say it made a lot of folks uncomfortable and embarrassed in the moment, not knowing how Downey was feeling or responding, or how to feel or respond themselves. They didn't want a redo of that Will Smith smackdown, you know what I mean? But before we even heard from Kimmel, we first had to watch quite a few leading ladies take tumbles and falls. Kirsten Dunst was posing for photos in her elegant white square neck Gucci gown and Fred Leighton jewelry when she encountered a slight blip, or rather slip. In a video you can see Dunst is walking along the carpet while looking back at her husband, Jesse Plemons, lovingly and smiling for the cameras as she's in motion. But when she turns and holds her arms out for her man to come embrace her, she trips backwards and tumbles into a giant Oscar statue that happened to be right behind her. The couple greets the near fall with humor. The Friday Night Lights actor dressed in a tux, he smiles while his wife is giggling and hiding her face and whispering things in his ears. But earlier in the night, actress Lisa Koshy actually took a major fall caused by her massive platform creeper heels and tight-fitted mermaid gown. She goes from walking to feet out from under her, landing on her ass in an actual heartbeat. Lisa sits looking dazed and surprised for a moment before embarrassingly laughing it off and slowly working her way back up onto her heels. In the now viral video you can see she was laughing through it and even joking that a manhole was responsible for her wipeout. On the topic of wiping out, something else that didn't land was the Rustin toast. What should have been a celebration of Coleman Domingo's return as a valiant activist in Netflix, Rustin, completely transformed into what was called by many articles an Oscar spawn-con, complete with cringe-worthy tequila toast with comedian Gilmore Rodriguez. As audience members raised their glasses, Rodriguez called the Oscar-nominated actor Coleman Flamingo, a joke that missed the punchline by miles. To make the moment worse, this skit was followed by a Don Julio ad complete with firecrackers and line dancing and a DJ set that a lot of people said felt tone deaf. Commercials are a good reminder for us that this is really happening live, but so is a group group of celebrities accidentally crashing a live feed, which happened with Billie Eilish, Cynthia Erivo, Phineas, and Ariana Grande. They crashed a live moment and they may have accidentally broken the fourth wall with their appearance on air while doing it. It was during the president of Motion Picture Academy of Arts and Sciences, Janet Yang's speech on camera. You can see in the quick shots that the group of 5 walked out behind Janet Yang and they were frozen like deer in headlight once realizing they were directly visible on camera. When the camera next cuts away from Janet, the group must have been waved away by crew because they weren't caught on screen crashing for long. Honestly, it was a refreshingly real moment, if not a little awkward and embarrassing for those involved. Sort of like how John Cena was feeling moments before realizing he was too scared to streak. It's only embarrassing in principle because it was actually pretty funny for everyone watching. Just not Cena, who had to, live it out. During the awards ceremony, John Cena appeared naked on stage as an homage to one of the most famed moments in Academy Awards history. For those not alive when it happened, a naked man appeared at the 46 Oscars in 1974, while David Niven was introducing Elizabeth Taylor. In the bit, John was supposed to appear on stage fully naked with nothing but an envelope to cover his junk, but he changed his mind. To quote him, "I just don't feel right about it. It's an elegant event, you know? You should feel shame right now for suggesting such a tasteless joke." Next thing we know, Cena peeks from behind the set and says he doesn't want to do the streaker bit, but will still take center stage with only the winner envelope covering, well, his little winner, much to the laughter and delight of the audience. But don't expect the laughter to linger because in came a real awkward playoff. Yevgeny Maloliteka, Mstislav Chernov, and Michelle Misner won Best Documentary Feature at the Oscars for 20 Days and Mariupol. Chernov gives a powerful and moving speech about the film, about Ukraine surviving the onslaught of its neighboring country. Chernov spoke about the resolve of Ukrainian people and the importance of showing injustices around the world through film, and to quote him, "It's because cinema forms memories and memories form history." It was brilliant, it was moving, and it held so much power and prominence, shaking the room. And then the orchestra kicked in to sing him out with an especially cinematic orchestra-style rendition of "I'm Just Ken." It was the most tone-deaf musical moment of the night and caused ripples of secondhand embarrassment and cringing so bad it could send you running from the room. Thankfully for this next guy, it wasn't a run Wes Anderson had to make because homeboy simply just wasn't there, I guess. He literally no-showed his first ever Oscar win. Wes Anderson is among the most celebrated filmmakers of this generation and has been nominated for an Oscar 7 times. The 8th was The Charm for his live-action short The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar, but Wes probably assumed it wouldn't be the win and chose not to attend. He wasn't there to accept the award, so no speech, leaving room for host Jimmy Kimmel to congratulate the director in absentia and joke that he was otherwise engaged building a diorama out of corduroy. Or, as some of the Oscar viewers speculated on Twitter, Wes maybe was merely irritated because his feature-length picture Asteroid City was snubbed completely, but speculation arises, as does commentary from many, they'd be embarrassed or even humbled by the award happening the one time they didn't show face. Bringing it back to Kimmel putting his foot in his mouth because, like I said, there were highs and lows, and he spurred testy reactions when teasing Poor Things. Jimmy Kimmel had to hurl a few jokes at Poor Things, obviously. Emma Stone, the lead and producer of the movie that swept the Oscars, arguably a little too much, and he chose to allude to the film's numerous intercourse scenes at one point. During the ceremony, an edited montage that highlighted a number of moments throughout Poor Things as Best Picture Oscar contender played, after which the comedian commented those were the only scenes they were allowed to show on network television. The camera cuts to Emma, who seemingly turned to her husband, director Dave McCary, and mouthed something with a deadpan look that, of course, internet sleuths have speculated could be anything from "oh my god" to "what a prick" based off lip reader interpretations. But one thing's clear, she didn't seem very impressed, and it was embarrassing for Kimmel. But honestly, Al Pacino sent Kimmel packing because he had the honor of making not just one person, but an entire audience of people unimpressed, confused, and dare say scared and lost, with a horrible winner announcement. No disrespect to a Hollywood OG like Al Pacino, but he should stick to receiving awards rather than handing them out. Pacino was tasked with the most important announcement of the night, revealing this year's Best Picture winner. Normally, folks read out the different categories, camera cuts while live to the different actors nominated, so on, so forth. Y'all know the drill. Our boy Al here, though, literally hops up on stage to give the final award of the night, which traditionally is revealed with all this dramatic build-up, sometimes even drum roll for effect, and this 83-year-old man that he is cuts to the chase, ditches bells and whistles, doesn't even read out the list of 10 nominees. He just says 10 wonderful films were nominated, but only one will take the award for Best Picture. And I have to go to the envelope for that, and I will. Here it comes. He opens the envelope and then he blurts out, "M-I-I-C Oppenheimer." Yes. Yes. He doesn't even do the traditional line of, "and the Oscar goes to," beforehand. That's just it. The audience is massively confused about whether Pacino had in fact just announced the winner, and it took a moment for the orchestra to kick in, for the Oppenheimer nominees to start making their way to the stage. Pacino's confusing delivery immediately sparked a wave of memes on social media as viewers joked that he was trying to wrap up the show quickly as possible. To quote, Al Pacino had a 7:30 p.m. reservation at Musso and Frank. He needed to move some things along, said one critic, Richard Roper, on Twitter, referencing the actor's role in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And for our last segment, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the Oscars chose not to make history. It was the upset of the night. Almost everyone expected Lily Gladstone to win Best Actress for her role in Killers of the Flower Moon. It would make up for the film being iced out of its other categories, snubbed again and again. Indigenous people everywhere were huddled around TVs, phones, radios. We got to cry and watch in awe as the Osage Nation gave a performance on stage at the real-life Oscars, something almost all of us would have never imagined being able to see one day. Please remember, Indigenous song, dance, and even gatherings were illegal in North America until 1951. That was only 73 years ago. So what you saw performed on stage was a criminal offense worthy of a death penalty before then. That's why it's not just representation, it's reclamation. This was huge. Then Emma Stone's name was called out. Again. Shaken Up the Poor Things actress accepted her award and thanked her cast members, the director, her daughter, and as Stone is describing ripping her dress or losing her voice throughout her acceptance speech, it's hard not to think of what a statement it would have been made to honor Gladstone instead. Stone herself even took a moment to speak directly to the odds-on favorite of the category, Lily, saying to her as she wept, "I share this with you, I am in awe of you, it's been such an honor to do this together, I hope we get to do more together." But actresses like Emma Stone win that award every year. She'll always be able to do more and win more awards. Lily was a rare shot, a first in Hollywood, one we might not get again for a long, long time, and that's the point. It wasn't just that she was the beating heart of Killers of the Flower Moon. Her win would have also made history as the first Indigenous woman to win an Oscar for Best Actress. It was such a missed opportunity. By awarding her, it wouldn't have been awarding one actress like it was with Emma. You would have been awarding an entire community. It represented more than Gladstone. It represented change in the industry, change in how people view us as Indigenous people, or at least it was supposed to. It was once again another slap in the face for the Indigenous communities instead. 10 Oscar nominations, nothing taken home. Many are commenting it feels like the movie never had a chance to ever win an Oscar, and it was only nominated to make the Academy seem less bigoted in their selections, turning the entire plotline, its history, the importance of the movie into just tokenism. I'd say embarrassing is only one word to describe this Oscar failure. Heartbreak is another. So, viewers, what did you think of the Oscar outcome? Do you agree with the choices? Or are you part of like normal society who's like grieving for Gladstone and screaming with rage on behalf of the Barbie movie? Comment your opinions down below, or share with friends to hear theirs.
Turns out, there was a reason Harry Styles didn't accompany girlfriend Taylor Russell to the Met Gala, and it wasn't due to lack of ticket. The two stars were first linked in June of 2023. Things quickly progressed from there. Russell was spotted at his concerts in the VIP sections, they had dates on the town, they attended galas together, and just recently a source close to the couple said they were traveling together. The couple was also reported to have been in agreement to keep the relationship more private, so what went wrong? Turns out the couple's recent trip to Japan might have something to do with it. Friends of the couple spoke to celebrity news publications, claiming that the couple came to the decision while on their vacation and that the breakup was amicable. Friends of the couple spoke to celebrity news publications, claiming that the couple came to a decision while on their vacation and that the breakup was mutual. A source told The Sun, Harry and Taylor have ended their relationship. They went through a rough patch after their trip to Japan and are taking some time apart. While they may have stood on common ground when it came to a private relationship, some suggest they weren't seeing eye to eye when it came to more personal matters. A source claimed that Styles was in love with Russell and was looking to start a family with her. Now that the couple is rumored to have split though, that is unlikely to happen. Russell has been in the industry for years, but these past couple years have been huge for her career. Hit movies and attending the Met Gala, the actress is not slowing down. You can't really blame her if she has her eyes on her career instead of starting a family. The same source suggested that Harry might be more ready to settle down, saying, "He has experienced all the fame anyone could ever want. He is now ready for the next chapter." It's a shame the couple has allegedly split. They were cute together. The first breakup confirmation of the year dropped on January 1st. AJ and Rochelle McLean confirmed that they ended their marriage, though they had already been separated for a year before that. The couple remains adamant that the split was a mutual decision and made out of love and respect. They made the confirmation and statements on social media. The couple were together over 12 years and share 2 children together. It's never a good sign when one half of a couple says they are free after a relationship ends, but model Clara Berry and Riverdale star KJ Apa might be an interesting case. The pair started hinting that they were an item at the end of 2019 with a confirmation Valentine's post in 2020. 2021 marked the birth of the couple's son, and that seemed like a happy day for the couple. Berry writing on Instagram, "I am the luckiest to have now 2 men of my life, filling my heart with this cosmic, gigantic, vast love." Then there were marriage rumors in 2022, which KJ may or may not have confirmed when he said, "I mean, maybe I am married. That's no one's business but mine, baby." By the end of 2023, fans started to think that there might be trouble in paradise. The once loved up couple stopped posting pictures of each other. March of this year finally gave fans the answers they were looking for. Berry held a Q&A on social media, and of course, many of the questions were about her romantic life. This is when the model remarked that she was free and confirmed the couple were no longer together and that she was happier now. She did clarify that the situation was hard, especially when it came to co-parenting, as she couldn't be with her family all the time now, but made sure to clarify that things were going well. America's favorite podcaster Bobby and her husband Corey filed for divorce back in February of this year, citing irreconcilable differences. But a rumor involving popular rapper Drake adds an unexpected layer to the story. Bobby is known for her celebrity interviews because she puts the celebs in slightly awkward situations. It makes for funny conversation and more honest answers, at least that's what her fans think. One particular interview with Drake went viral, and it wasn't just because of his superstar status. The interview was conducted while laying in a bed. Fans that watched started picking apart the interview, saying that Bobby and Drake seemed a bit flirty with each other. Eventually, these comments spiraled into rumors that the pair had done more than just an interview in a bed. The rumors were publicly denied by Bobby, and it's unclear if they actually had anything to do with her divorce. What made the entire Drake situation even more suspicious, though, was that the interview was later deleted. Aspen Ovard and Parker Ferris are one of YouTube's royal couples, so it came as a bit of a shock to fans of the couple when their divorce was announced in April. Here's the thing, though. The divorce was discovered on April 1st, also known as April Fool's Day, so I'm sure people didn't even believe it at first. Not only was it not an April Fool's joke, though, the divorce was filed the same day Aspen announced the birth of the couple's 3rd child. At the time, the couple hadn't addressed the divorce publicly, but allegedly Parker was still wearing his ring, which confused fans even more. Not everyone was shocked by the announcement, though. Some fans actually expected it. Speculation had been swirling online for a while before the announcement, and for good reason. The family's YouTube channel name went from the joint title to the one that was just for Aspen, and Parker started showing up in vlogs less and less. Then the situation got more confusing when divorce proceedings paused on April 17th. The reason cited was so that the couple could focus on negotiating a settlement. In total, the couple have 3 children together and were married over 8 years. Sam Fahey and Corey Kiefer are names you might recognize from the reality TV show Summer House. They were together over a year, and the breakup came as a huge shock to one of them. Sam was on an episode of the podcast Not Skinny But Not Fat, where she shared the reason she broke up with Corey. She claimed that she did it because she knew he didn't love her back. She shared that she had told him she loved him and he never said it back for the entire duration of the relationship. She went on to say, "I didn't break up with him because I don't love him. I broke up with him because he doesn't love me." That's tough to just hear from her. I can't imagine what living it was like. She shared how how the pair were comfortable with each other's families and lived together when they were in the same city. She also shared the moment she realized she was done with it all. Sam said, "The trigger was he texted me like 5 or 6 days before Christmas like, 'Hey, I just realized Christmas and New Year's are coming up. What are we doing?' I was like, if you really wanted to spend that time with me, you would have texted me before then, or we would have figured it out sooner." TV personality Janelle Evans has filed for divorce from husband David Eason, and it's reported that she filed with the intent of the divorce being permanent. And it's not hard to see why when you take a look at the couple's history. The Teen Mom star and her former husband were together over 8 years and have a daughter together. Evans and Eason had already split in 2019 after a particularly nasty incident, but decided to give their marriage another shot in 2020. In a 2021 interview with Us Weekly, Evans offered some insight into why she returned to the marriage, saying, "I left him and I was like, this isn't going to be good when I go back to him. I know some people don't understand, but there's a lot of worse things that have happened in my life than getting back with my husband and trying to work it out." But what was so bad that she had to leave in the first place? Well, Evans had a little French bulldog named Nugget. Nugget, according to Eason, bit their little girl, so Eason took care of Nugget, and Nugget is now forever resting. Evans was understandably not happy about this as she loved her dog. Evans and the kids were reported to have left the family's home for a few days, but ultimately returned. This dog incident continued to cause problems for the couple. They lost custody of their child and Evans' 2 other children from previous relationships for a few months. The couple was back together for the majority of quarantine, but the end of 2022 revealed that they were back on the rocks. Evans posted an angry message to her Instagram story regarding her birthday celebration that year. Over a picture of Evans' hand with no wedding ring was the text, "Tell me where David Eason is, cause it's my birthday at midnight and he's gone. I don't want to explain, but just know that my birthday was ruined by a narcissistic." The divorce papers were filed with the intent that the separation be permanent. Sacha Baron Cohen and Isla Fisher announced their divorce after 14 years of marriage and over 20 years together. In Hollywood, a marriage that lasts that long is rare, so it was a sad day when the divorce was announced this year. Although, the announcement was made in a way that left people wondering if they should laugh or cry. I know that doesn't sound great, but truly I have never seen a celebrity couple announce a divorce this way. It started normal enough. They put the announcement on their Instagram stories, but it was tennis themed. It featured a picture of the couple in matching white tennis outfits striking a pose. The text on the side, the default Instagram story font, read out their divorce statement. I can't decide if I love or hate this divorce statement, but one thing is for sure, it is looking camp right in the eye. And right around all the release of this big tennis movie Challengers, it's impeccable timing overall. I know tennis is used as a metaphor for marriage all the time, and tennis must mean something to them, but the timing is just too good. The couple is known for their comedy and Baron Cohen for his shock value, so it's fitting for the couple to make an announcement like this. The announcement read, "After a long tennis match lasting over 20 years, we are finally putting our rackets down." It went on to say the couple decided to divorce last year in 2023 and that they wanted to work through the situation privately, also writing that they will forever share in our devotion and love for our children before finishing off the story with a request for privacy. Big Brother stars Memphis Garrett and Christmas Abbott have called it quits, but fans don't seem surprised at all. In fact, many say they expected it due to Garrett's behavior in the marriage. The couple met while on Big Brother together, and it seems like a beautiful romance at first. During the couple's marriage, rumors of infidelity have come up for both parties. TMZ reports that the couple's split has a lot to do with infidelity and lying. But Garrett's actions in the relationship have also likely played a big role in the split. The couple officially split a week before the divorce was filed because Christmas filed for a temporary DV restraining order against Garrett. A judge did grant her the court-ordered protection. There have also been rumors that Christmas had been wanting and even requesting a divorce for a while. Christmas has requested privacy during this time. Do y'all remember Armie Hammer and all the rumors and charges against him regarding a certain forbidden type of meal and SA charges? Well, he got another girlfriend and they broke up maybe less than a year after they started dating. The timeline, it's just super messy and hard to follow as Hammer was divorcing his ex-wife last summer, and then he and Marina were allegedly together almost immediately after. So Marina Gree and Armie Hammer seemed to get engaged in October, so if they got together in the summer, that's like maybe 3 months of dating. The engagement lasted until January of this year. For anyone wondering, Marina did know about the allegations surrounding Armie Hammer. She claimed that her time with him, though, was positive. She shared this and more in a post to her Instagram story regarding the breakup, writing, "Our relationship was a space where I felt deeply appreciated, supported, loved, and understood. I know him as a gentleman in every sense of the word. Our decision to get married and plans for a future together were rooted in strength, encouragement, and deep mutual care."